I never identified as black until I came to this country. I remember the first time I had gotten so angry at this guy in my community college. I was an RA, which is a residence assistant. And he was like, oh, the African-American, the big African-American girl, the one that looks like a gorilla. I said, it cannot be me. And of everything he called me, it was the African-American, the black African that annoyed me. The gorilla part, I was like, I personally find something attractive about a gorilla. Have you seen a gorilla looking man? Get it. Anyways, so I come and I'm like, I'm not African-American, one, and I'm not black. Everybody was shocked at that statement. Like, you're not black? What are you then? I'm like, I'm a person. What is black? So what are you? Yellow, like lemonish green? What is this? And I had no concept or idea of race at the time. I didn't understand the history of America and all of these good things. With a lot of things like black is beautiful and black is supreme and black is necessary.
I just got a DM and somebody told me, stop speaking on black issues. You are not black. They are right. I'm not black. I'm African. But does that disqualify me from speaking on black issues that also affect me?
What are we really doing to the black Africans as Africans? Or what are we doing to the Africans as black Americans? Because the tension that is between these two communities is not good. All of us are black, but I have seen videos that breaks my heart where Africans don't appreciate black Americans don't trust Africans, and it's going on. And these are two people who are one, from one mother, and that is from the motherland Africa. Both of us are from Africa, but the tension between us, it's not good, and it's not a good picture to the whole world. And that's why some other races, they belittle us. Some other races, they see us as, different people. Okay, there's some videos I've come across that I want to play to you where this tension is seen just openly between black Americans and Africans. And when you watch this video, please tell me in the comment section what is really wrong between, or what's causing this tension between Africans and black Americans or Africans Americans. It historical disconnect, cultural differences, stereotypes, or we have all mentioned this for a long time, but we are calling for unity, but it's so hard to get this unity. Just recently, I got some email from a black American threatening me with some words there. Okay, let's watch this video and then I'll come back again and we try to talk about this.
Bro, I'm reaching out to the African community. Why don't y'all like us? Because when I be at work and I be trying to talk to the African people, it always seemed like they be like looking at me funny or side-eyeing me. And at first I was thinking maybe they just don't understand me that well. Maybe they're not well acquainted with the way we speak or something. I don't know. But somebody brought it to my attention that they just don't like African-American people. And I didn't believe it at first. But then I started noticing certain little things. One of my coworkers was like, if you notice, they always cool with the white people. They love white people. I'm like, no, I don't think it's that. Like, there's no way they like white people more than they like us. That don't even make sense. I'll never forget. I was walking down this long pathway at my job. It's like a long pathway. And I see somebody just running this way like super fast. And it was an African. And I'm sitting there watching this, and she's a beautiful African lady, like super beautiful. But she running this way. I'm looking like, what's she running from? It's a white dude behind her chasing her, and they both just laughing and giggling. I'm like, ain't that the same girl I was just trying to talk to yesterday, and she act like she couldn't understand nothing I was saying? How she having so much fun talking to this white man, but she can't be cool with me? Like, that's insane. Like, why don't y'all like us? Like, what is it that y'all don't like about us? I thought we was cool. And then as time went on, more and more, like, down the line, I'm starting to peep, like, this is a reoccurring pattern. Like, it keep on happening. I'm starting to peep that ain't no Africans trying to talk to me. They all act funny towards me, but they do be messing with the white people. And I'm like, bro, that's a real thing? Like, I used to hear people say it, but I didn't really believe it. Like, I'm not the type of person that just hears something and just believe it automatically. Like, I got to see for myself. And once I really seen it, like, this same African lady I was just trying to talk to yesterday, not being flirtatious, not being weird or nothing, like, regular conversation, just trying to, you know what I mean, help make the day go by, like, not even saying nothing bad or nothing. This same lady who wouldn't even give me a conversation was being chased down by a white man, laughing and giggling. I couldn't believe it. Why don't y'all like us? I understand we're a little bit Americanized and everything like that, and we're a little bit brainwashed, and we can be ignorant at times, but every African American is not like that. I don't like to see myself as an ignorant person who runs around starting I don't do that. You know what I mean? I don't do that at all. So I don't understand. It's very frustrating. I don't even want to talk about it no more. But hey, have y'all ever experienced that?
Sir? Hey, Stealing, think I wasn't gonna catch him. What are you doing, sir? Do you have your receipt?
Don't you see me with a receipt, sir?
I just want to make sure, man. You look like you were up to no good, and we don't play that in my store.
Are you serious?
I'm very serious, sir.
Can you take a look at my receipt?
Let me see this. Open the bag, please. Open the bag.
Jesus Christ.
All right. Okay, you check out, man. Listen, you look like you were up to no good, and we don't play that around here.
So you actually thought that I will come to steal here?
Yeah, man.
Why?
Why?
Huh?
Yes, I do.
Well, why do you think I was stealing?
Because you were walking around only for one item, man. You could have gone to the
No.
gas station for that.
No.
Why'd you have to come to Walmart?
No. You actually stopped me because of my color. Because you think I'm a black person, so I could probably be a thief.
I'm the same color, man. But I don't care.
Exactly.
You look
That's why
like.
you should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah, but you look like you're up to no good, man. I know you're kind. I've seen you around
So
before.
you think our people are up to no
It's not
good.
our people, man. It's your people. My people are here at Walmart.
So you make it worse. My people, Africans.
Yes.
I'm just like you, bro.
You're nothing like me. We're nothing alike, so don't even compare us.
Bro,
Hey, I checked your receipt. You're good. Now get out of here.
you should be very ashamed of
Before I
yourself.
call the cops, man.
You see,
Do you want problems?
You're the reason why.
Hey, you're gonna stop talking to me like that, okay? Take your receipt and get on out of here. Get on out of here.
It's sad.
You got to the count of 3.
Everybody
1,
talking about you
2,
guys and us. Now
3.
you're showing it.
No, I don't care. You're gonna have to get
You
out
don't
of here.
care.
Sir, go. Sir, have a nice day.
You should be very ashamed of yourself.
This motherfucker come in our store stealing. We'll follow you out. Make sure you don't do nothing else, man.
An African American guy approached me yesterday at the gym, and I told him that I don't date African Americans. And he quickly jumped the gun and was like, "Oh, is it because we don't have a culture? That's what y'all think?" I said, "Sir, this does not have nothing to do with you, but with me." I said, "Sir, I don't speak English. I don't know how to speak English." He was like, "Well, you're well spoken to me." No, get about 2 hours of being with me. You'll be asking yourself, what are you saying? Every day you'll be like, come again, come again. I don't want to be coming again every time. I cannot even joke with you. You'll be asking me. You say, baby, that's not how you said that. Don't correct me. I don't want. After pretending to speak in medical terminology at work, I cannot even pronounce those medical words. You see me stressing those medical words to say it. You'll feel sorry for myself. I have to be stressing it. Hi, hapo. No, it's okay. My boss often said, if you want to catch Miriam, catch her from 8:30 to 10:30. By that time, she speaks good English. After that, whatever you get, you on your own. And guys, after 2 hours, I'm tired. It's a full-time job. Sometimes, I'm speaking good English at work. I'll be speaking in a tone voice. My voice is sweet. Everything is calm. And then what they're hearing is a real African lady speaking breaking English. So I can only do 2 hours in a day.
And to those people in the comments calling me Akata, stop playing with me. Alright guys, so the other day I posted a video about how people were mad that we call Africans the Africans when referring to the hair braiding salon. When we get our hair braided, we say, "Oh, I'm going to the Africans to get my hair done." They stated that this was very offensive. There were people in my comments who stated that this wasn't offensive at all and that they were proud of Africans. But then there were people in my comments who stated that they didn't want to be called African because there are many countries in Africa and Africa is just a continent. Now, of course, I know that there are many countries in Africa. But I'm thinking if you are an inhabitant of Africa, you are an African, point blank, period. That's just that. Just like I am an American because I live in America. So for y'all to sit there and say, wait till we call you Akata? Akata? Are you serious? So now I'm a cotton picker. So now I don't have a home. I'm just lost out in the world. First of all, many Black people, Black Americans in America have ancestors that don't even come from Africa. For instance, Native Americans. Many Black people, including myself, have ancestors who are Native American from this country, who built this country. So stop it. Stop playing with me. And I'm not taking away from the fact that Africans are amazing people. And you guys come to this country and do amazing things. Y'all some of the smartest people I know. I have African friends, doctors. But don't be offensive and don't be rude and disrespectful and don't be ignorant. So if y'all want to argue in the comments about this, go and do that. But stop playing with me. Stop it.
When Africans come here and when Black Americans go to Africa, we truly realize that we are the same. We're all very flashy. Most of us are loud. Most of us are aggressive. We're very family oriented. We're each one, teach one type situation. You got them shoes, I want them too. You got that purse, you want them too. And everybody cook the same dishes. How your macaroni and cheese taste? How your macaroni and cheese taste? We're the fucking same. We can own businesses. It can say you're open at 9. Bitch ain't open until 12. You got to call somebody standing at the door talking about, are you open today? I'm at the house. I'll be there in an hour. Can you wait on me? What the fuck? Like, I'm telling you. Why the fuck are you apologizing for saying that Black Americans need to know where they come from? You do. You're saying that we don't have culture. We have culture that we adopted, and being descendants of slaves who were brought over here from Africa. But for him to receive backlash saying that Black Americans lack culture, Black Americans, whether we want to acknowledge it, our base is fucking Africa. Period. And that's all he was saying. If Black Americans went home and understood where they came from, then we would be more prosperous as a people. But because we're at odds with Africans, and we're like, we're not African, we're not, this just the fuck you are. You got niggas around here still running around, some of them American Indian. How the let's be honest. You still black. Just like when a white person is fucking a nigga, you still black. You are black, Indian, white, but your base is Africa. Well, why is he receiving backlash when out of anybody that's doing music, he's bridging it? Because yes, they say, well, he's sampling for more art from American artists that he claims have no culture. He's bridging the Black American music with African music, and that's why he's selling out stadiums around the world. And half of y'all worried about, they coming over here to get a green card. Go get your green card in Africa. Y'all need to go home. I'm telling you, y'all will have so much fun. I see so many Black Americans moving over to South Africa and they living good, buying $200,000 mansions. But house help, but same motherfucking houses they selling for 15, 20 million in goddamn LA. They buying that shit for $200,000, showing up to work late. Bitch, mortgage is paid off.
I never identified as Black until I came to this country. I remember the first time I had gotten so angry at this guy in my community college. I was an RA, which is a residence assistant. And he was like, the African American, the big African American girl, the one that looks like a gorilla. I said, it cannot be me. And of everything he called me, it was the African American, the Black African that annoyed me. The gorilla part, I was like, I personally find something attractive about a gorilla. Have you seen a gorilla looking man? Forget it. Anyways, so I come and I'm like, I'm not African American, one, and I'm not Black. Everybody was shocked at that statement. Like, you're not Black? What are you then? I'm like, I'm a person. What is Black? So what are you? Yellow, lemonish green? What is this? And I had no concept or idea of race at the time. I didn't understand the history of America and all of these good things. With a lot of things like Black is beautiful and Black is supreme and Black is necessary.
I just got a DM and somebody told me, stop speaking on Black issues. You are not Black. They are right. I'm not Black. I'm African. But does that disqualify me from speaking on Black issues that also affect me? And now I'll give you a little background on me. I'm from Africa. I came to the US in 2012. Been here ever since, have never gone back to visit, nothing like that. I did all my schooling here, learned English, learned a lot of things, and I am now a citizen of the US. I still speak my first language because of my family. I am very accustomed to American life. I eat the food, I listen to the music. Almost everything about me is American. I grew up here and have spent more time here than I have in Africa. I am treated as Black in this country. I'm seen as Black. Issues that affect or are strong in the Black community also pertain to me. I'm talking about colorism, texturism, featureism, all of it. Are those issues that I'm not allowed to talk about because I'm not Black American, it is a very hard thing to like talk about and understand because it's confusing. I see myself as African because that's just where I'm from. I don't know, now I just feel like I'm just saying whatever, but actually, I do want to talk about this because I feel like that's the reality of a lot of Africans that grow up here, especially the ones who aren't that close to their culture anymore. If you relate to me or have anything or opinions or whatever, feel free to comment.
I'm an African American. I'm the only person in the world who's had issues or who's faced discrimination. No, you're not. American black people are not the only people who've gone through hardship in this world. The same way slavery or the history of America has an impact on black people, history itself still impacts black people across the world today. And that's what a lot of you don't seem to understand. Your great-granddad or your granddad was a slave. Fair enough, innit? But so many African nations are still being affected by the West today. Look at Congo. As a clear example, it doesn't have to be slavery in your face for it to still be slavery in your face. Do you know where the resources in your iPhones come from? Congo. Them man are still going through it right now. I'm an African American. I'm the only person in the world who's had issues or who's faced discrimination. No, you're not. I'm an African American. All these people are stealing our culture. It's not really you. It's because of the country where you're from has this real big impact on media. So yes, a lot of us in the world, white, black, blue, pink, grew up on American culture. Not specifically black, but hip hop is cool. Hip hop is dominant. Athletes are cool. Like any child and every young person in the world, you look up to people you can identify with. So if you see a Michael Jordan, a Tupac, a Biggie, a Jay-Z, you're going to admire them and you might adopt elements of their culture. It's not rocket science. It's not that deep. You're not the only black people who have to navigate being a minority in another part of the world. So relax.
Even as a Nigerian American, they even look at me, I don't have culture. They look at me as like I am just Oyinbo. They call me Oyinbo. They call me all these terminologies because they don't look at me as being African. I'm not African to them. I'm American. That's exactly how they view me. I don't feel really, I have a hard time making friends there. I was there for 7 months. I have a hard time making friends. I have a hard time really like truly
This is home in Nigeria.
in Nigeria. You understand? So I don't know. I feel like this is my home, but me too. I yearn for that connection. I yearn to want to go back home and connect with where I'm from and embrace my culture and everything like that. But yeah, I sometimes too, I feel like an outsider. So I can definitely relate to that. I've even gotten to like little arguments in like my Uber drivers and they Uber drivers in Nigeria, they're so useless. I'm sorry, I had to put that out. I'm sorry. I have to say that. But they will come at me because sometimes maybe I may be talking to them and giving them direction. This is your English or your phone. Calm down. I don't understand this, your English. I'm like, what do you I'm speaking normal, but my accent sometimes is too much. But I tone down. Even still, I tone down. I try to talk as if I'm from Nigeria, and still my accent is still too strong. My American accent is still too strong for them. So it's like myself, I can relate to you guys as well because I feel like trying to connect, find that sense of belonging. I yearn for that as well. But it's so hard when I'm not being embraced. I'm not feeling like I'm welcome.
So now
you know what I'm saying?
Imagine that with us in America, with Africans and African Americans not embracing each other. Imagine that we're in the same hole, in the same
It's the same thing, basically.
Welcome back. Now, before I continue, I want to read you an email I received from, I don't know if someone pretending to be a black American, but this email I received, it was a long email. And then the end of it was like, we are going to war with you, Africans. Also get ready for a big whooping. You all might want to stop posting and talking about our people. Things about to get ugly. You are being warned. I really wish I could meet you Africans behind these channels personally. Yeah, that was a threatening message I received. I have screenshot that's there. There's a number of messages that is sent. Okay. But what are we doing to black Americans that is pissing them off? Okay? And what are black Americans doing to Africans that is pissing Africans off? And all of us are black people. All of us are from one mother. And when we talk about historical disconnect, yes, we have historical disconnect because the transatlantic slave trade terribly separated African Americans from their ancestral roots, creating a disconnect between them and African or indigenous Africans and the cultures of Africa. And many African Americans feel that Africans did not do enough to prevent the slave trade, while some Africans feel that they are unfairly blamed for events that happened centuries ago. That's what we call historical disconnect, even if this is the problem. But why are we showing so much respect to the white people and we ain't showing respect to our own brothers? Why are we so much comfortable in front of white people, but we ain't comfortable with our own brothers from Africa? We are all the same. Yes, historical disconnect happened and slave trade happened, and centuries has passed, and this is not the time to blame each other, because our blame is the cracked, is causing easy way for some other races to come through and divide us more and more. So we need to get rid of this historical disconnect. Yes, it is there. Century has passed, and this is what is causing black community to be seen as inferior even after all these years. It's so hard for us to fill the generational wealth gap because we don't support each other because of what, or because of this tension that is between us. Now, when you talk about cultural differences, okay, African Americans have developed their own distinct culture over centuries because they have been in the US for so long, while Africans comes from diverse cultural background with their own traditions, languages, and ways of life. These differences sometimes lead to misunderstanding between these two, a set of black Americans and indigenous Africans. But I get that cannot be the reason that we have so much tension between these two communities, because this tension that we have is not building anything, but it's just causing chaos and chaos and chaos when time passes. Now, the question was, what are we doing to black Americans that always piss them off? And you black Americans, what do Africans do to you that pisses you off most of the time? I've just read you an email that I received, and it wasn't good. Not good email for the person that didn't do anything, just reacting on videos of FBS, of which is good for us because all of us are black people. So when I talk about black Americans, I know I talk about my black family. When I talk about Caribbeans, I talk about my black family. When I talk about Nigerian, South African, Ghanaians, or someone from Togo, I talk about Africans or black people at large. When I talk about Latinos or Afro-Latinos, I talk about black people. The business that is on black Americans is a business that's affecting all of us. If we talk about slavery, it may affect African Americans so much, but again, to Africans was there. If we talk about discrimination, if we talk about segregation, if we talk about racism, any black human being can come across this racism. Of course, we have stereotypes and media influence that is coming from the Western countries, like the white people, how they see Africa as inferior. We are buying that story. So they will tell you, African Americans, that Africa is like this and like that. Some maybe disease and a drought and everything. And we as black Americans, maybe you're going to buy that story. And that's not real story if you haven't come to the ground and see it by yourself. Now, when they talk about black Americans having this culture that they don't like Africans, something, how the media perceive or how the media influence the outcome of Africans and African Americans, we are the one who are buying these stories because they don't know a damn about us. They don't know anything about us. And we as black people, we need to create our own story. We need to build our own story. We are the one who knows what happened to ourselves, and we are the one who can change everything. So Western media often portrays Africa in a negative light. Poverty, war, disease, leading some African Americans to develop this misconception about Africa. Now, likewise, some Africans grow up watching Hollywood movies when we see black Americans are being portrayed as hooligans, like crime, gang, culture. When you watch these movies, the gang members, all of them are just African Americans, okay? But that is the media. As one of my black American brothers said, this is 21st century. A lot of years has passed, and right now, people are educated, okay? So we are good to know that this is misconception, or this is stereotype, or this is a way to sell us off. Okay? When we talk about colonial or oppression, it's happening to both of us. So we are going through the same struggle. African Americans and indigenous Americans, we are going through the same shit. But we are the one who are deepening this hole. We are the one who are deepening ourselves into these problems because we don't unite or we don't support each other. We see each other as visitors, but we take time. We appreciate white people. We respect them. We want to wash their feet, but we can't respect our own self. Now, the video I've just shown you, the first video I showed you was about an African guy with black African guy in a store, and this black American was following him, thinking he was a thief because that's how media shows maybe Africans are like this. And I don't know if this video was real or acted, but if it was a real video, then this is bad. It's very bad to our black community. We share some culture, we have same color, everything is the same. So I don't get the reason why we have all this tension between us. Okay? And even at 21st century, there's some black Americans, they think Africa is like this. There's some Africans who think black Americans are like this. Because we have not taken time to learn each other. We have not taken time to go to live with each other and knows how they are. We need to bridge this gap. We need to come together. We need to have cultural exchange. We need to have solidarity. We need to have dialogue and educate, create awareness to African communities. And that's what I'm trying to do each and every time. I'm trying to tell black Americans that Africa is not how they think it is. I'm trying to connect black Americans and Africans. Don't you see that? I'm trying for the betterment, not on the negative side. Okay? So connecting black Americans and Africans will help both of us. First of all, the segregation, the discrimination, the racism we are going through in United States, in these white countries, is because they are continuing the white supremacy to think that they are better than black people. But nay, they ain't better than us. They ain't even better than Africa, because Africa is a continent that provides to all the people. It is the motherland. So we need to come together and stand together as black people at large, black community, whether being Afro-Caribbean, everywhere where you are, even black Indians, we are going through the same problems. How black Americans or Africans are being perceived, are being carried in the community is the same how black Indians are being carried, is the same how Afro-Latinos are going through the same shit. If it's about racism, all the black people, even if there is a black Chinese, he will go through the same shit. So every black community, wherever you are, we need to come together. And I will preach that. I'll preach that for so long. A lot of my videos that I will do, I will continue preaching that. I will continue preaching that because we cannot continue blaming Africans for the historical disconnect. And we cannot continue blaming black Americans because they are blaming Africans. Of course, we know there is stories that has gone on that our ancestors, the chiefs, the dios, they created some hatred between these two communities. Like they sell our cousins or our brothers. But maybe I was lucky to remain and you were sold. Okay? You cannot blame me because I remained. Maybe I was weak. I was not carried out that time. Maybe I was not born yet. So it is high time to amend mistakes that our ancestors did as Africans. Okay? It's our high time as Africans. And that's why I thank a country like Ghana. Ghana has made it easy for black Americans to come back to the continent. I thank that. And I wish each and every African countries can make it easy for black Americans to access Africa. Okay? And that's why when I meet an African or black American brother or a Jamaican or Afro-Caribbean brother, I am so nice. I love him or her. I talk to her as a brother who is far away. Okay? And it's high time as black Americans fill the gap or to leave, to do away with the grudges that our ancestors had with our ancestors. Because the enemy is one. Like people always say, enemy is poverty. In our story, we have the same enemy. And we all know that what transpired between us. We all know what made these our ancestors sell slavery, if that is what happened. We all know who was the enemy. And the enemy has been here, even up to now, still mixing up things, still separating us, still creating chaos, still creating stereotypes, still creating false information between us. We are, I won't say old enough, or, we have brains. No, I won't use that word. But right now, we already know what transpired. Okay? So it's high time we stop all this. It's high time we do away with all this separation, with all this chaos between these two families. We are people from the same mother, and even maybe we are brothers, but you are taken away, I remained, through transatlantic slave trade. It's high time to fill or to reduce this gap. And that is the only way we can make things happen. That's the only way we can win this battle that we have. That's the only way we can stop all this racism and discrimination. That's the only way we can be respected. Okay? By doing this, all will come to an end. And love is all we need, and unity. Okay? So tell me in the comment section, what do Black Americans do to Africans, indigenous, and what do Africans do to Black Americans that is making all this tension between us? I think it's a good video that I've shared to you. Until next episode, peace out.